Nazneen, I think I will mute myself, or no, maybe I won't, depending, maybe on and off, but feel free to begin when you're ready, inshallah. Bismillah.
Okay, inshallah. All right, so we are recording. Okay, assalamu alaikum everyone. Assalamu alaikum all the lovely kids that are here and the moms and if there's any dads. But thank you for joining us. I know it's late for you, for those that are in North America. Maybe you're past your bedtime. I'm not sure, but it's school holidays, so maybe you're allowed to stay up a little bit. But thank you for joining us. I'm Sister Nazneen and Sister Wajih is there in New York. I'm speaking all the way from Australia. It's early in the morning here. Well, not that early. It's at 8:30 in the morning. And we currently have our winter here. And I think you guys have your summer. So we're in the opposite. So anyways, today we're going to be talking about, or we're going to be doing the 2-point perspective Kaaba drawing. And now some of you might have done this in school in your art class where we talked about the 2-point. Now, what do I mean by 2-point perspective? So I'll show you an example for this one, first of all. So this is a 2-point drawing, okay? So it's very simple. So what it has is when you go outside and you go for a walk, okay? So when you guys go outside for a walk today, I want you to look at the point here where the sky is here and the road. So pretty much this is your horizon line. Your horizon line is where the sky and the earth meet. So when you go outside and you see a building and you don't see the side here, this would be your horizon. So this is your sky, okay, and this is the ground. So that's your horizon line back here. So today you'll be drawing a horizon line, and then we'll have 2 points. They're called vanishing points, where the drawing disappears into that. So pretend this is you, this little stick person is you standing here, and when you look at from this angle, you'll see when you look down the road, it's going into that point. Or if you look down the road from here, it's going on to that point. Okay, so when whatever you draw, the lines are matching to that vanishing point. Okay, so we're going to be drawing the horizon line, 2 vanishing points. That's why it's called a 2-point perspective drawing. And then the lines that we draw are going to disappear here. And we are pretending we're standing here. Okay, so when you draw your Kaaba, it's going to go like this here. Okay, and if I'm going too fast and if something's not clear, please do ask and then I'll repeat that. Okay, and how will we do this? We'll do this in 5 simple steps. Okay, so first step will be, we're going to draw the horizon line with 2 points. And I'll do each step with you. I'm just giving you an overview of how we're going to do this. Then we're going to draw the first corner of the Kaaba, the corner that's facing us, okay? And then you'll have, after you draw the corner of the Kaaba, you're going to draw the sides that match to the vanishing point. Then you'll close off the sides, and then you see you'll have one side of the Kaaba and then the other side of the Kaaba. And then lastly, you'll decorate your Kaaba and you'll have your Kaaba. So it's very simple, just 5 simple steps and we'll have this. Okay, so we're gonna get to the drawing. I hope you guys are ready. So I hope you have a pencil and a ruler, that's all you need, and a piece of paper and some sort of eraser so that you can erase the lines in the end. Okay, you don't need to erase in the beginning. If you don't have an eraser, if you don't have any of the supplies, it's okay, just follow along the best you can with what you have. Okay, so let me put this camera up just a little bit so you can see, I think, the whole page. Okay, so bismillah, let's begin. So here's your ruler. Turn your page, not portrait like this, but landscape. So make it wide sideways like this, okay? So turn your paper sideways. And then, this is the top of your page and the bottom of your page. Go down, make your horizon this much, okay? Actually, let's make it in the center, okay? So make your horizon in the center of the page. Slightly below, okay? So you have less of a gap here and more of a gap here. So you have more space for your sky and less space for your land, okay? And then make a light line. I'll make mine dark so that you can see it. So you're just making a line. So this is your horizon. Okay, so on your page, more space for the sky, less space for the land. You made a straight line to divide that. Okay, now next step is on this horizon line, we're going to make 2 vanishing points. You want to make them as far to the edge as possible, okay? So let me move that so you can see. So here's your paper. You make 1 point here as close as you can. So leave a little bit of a gap and put a dot here, okay? And put V1. So that's your vanishing point 1. Okay, now go to the other edge. Same, leave a little bit of gap and make a circle here. That's your V2. So that's your one vanishing point 2. So on your page, you have 2 vanishing points. Sorry, let me fix this angle so you can, I think this is better. Okay. Now you can see the 2 vanishing points. Now, so we have our horizon, we have our 2 vanishing points. Okay, everyone good so far? Now we're going to draw the one corner of the Kaaba. So on your page, in the center, okay, find the center of your page, and you're going to draw the line of the Kaaba. And you're going to draw a line in the center that's half here and half here. So, you know, as much as you can in the center, and then draw a line like this. Okay, so you see this is the top of the Kaaba, the bottom. You're dividing it equally on your horizon line. Okay, I'm just going to this thing is irritating. Okay. So horizon line, 2 vanishing points, the corner of the Kaaba. Okay. Now you're going to take your ruler and just point here. Put A here and put B here. Just so that you remember which points you have to match, okay? You're going to take point A and match it to vanishing point 1, V1, okay? So you take your ruler and you match it to the point as carefully as you can, okay? If you don't have a ruler, just with your hand, try to do a rough sketch where these line matches. Now you're going to take point B and match it to V1 again, vanishing point 1, okay? So take B and match it to vanishing point 1. Until you have this shape right here. All right, so now we've done this side of the Kaaba. Now we're going to focus on this side. So again, you're going to take A, but this time you're matching it to V2, vanishing point 2.
Nazneen, I think there might be a couple of newcomers. So in a brief, few sentences, can you brief anybody who's entered in the last few rooms and past few minutes doing this crisscross and the vantage points, and then that'll allow anybody else to catch up.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so what we've done so far is we've created a horizon line. So you're going to take your paper, you're going to turn it into landscape view, which is not like this, but like this, turn it to landscape, and then roughly about little past halfway point, draw your horizon line. So you have more space for the sky and less space for the ground. Okay, so once you draw your horizon line, you're going to have 2 vanishing points. So you're going to have as far as you can. So 1 vanishing point here, and then the other vanishing point here. Okay, so you'll have a line, horizon line, 2 vanishing points. That's what we've done. Then you're going to draw the corner of the Kaaba that you will see if you were to stand here. Okay, so this is, pretend you're standing here and you're looking up at the Kaaba. So you'll see this corner of the Kaaba. So then we drew this line. Then, so horizon, vanishing points, corner of the Kaaba, and then we matched, you labeled them, V1, V2, A, and then B. Then we matched A to V1, and then B to V1 as well. And then now you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so you'll take A to V2.
Okay.
And then B to V2 as well. Okay, so you have a reflection. Pretend this is the dividing line in the middle, and then you have a reflection of each one on the other side. Okay, everyone good so far?
Give a thumbs up in the video if you're on.
Yeah.
Everyone got lots of thumbs up? Okay.
All right, great.
All right.
Good job. You're almost there. We only have 2 more steps left. Good job. Okay, so now that we've drawn the side, so this is, again, the corner of the Kaaba. If you were standing here, I draw, hi, that's me, okay? And I'm looking up, I see this corner. And now I have to draw the sides because the Kaaba doesn't extend forever like this, right? So we have to close it up. So what you're going to do is, with your ruler if you have, and if you don't have, you're just going to roughly do it, eyeball it. You take your ruler and you slide it, okay? Slide it as far as you want it to go. So let's try to make a rough equal a square. You don't want to make it too elongated, okay? So go up to this much, and you have to make sure this line is straight to this line. So it can't be like this or like this, otherwise it would look lopsided. So you want, so the easiest thing is take this thing, this line, and slide to the width that you want, and then you stop, and then you draw a line. Okay. So here you have one side of the Kaaba.
Up and down.
You if your measurements don't match to mine, it's okay. It's not very measure focused. Okay, so your Kaaba could be larger than mine. It could be smaller. As long as you're getting this type of shape, you're good. Okay, so don't stress if yours doesn't look exactly like this. As long as you're creating that shape, you should be okay. But if you wanted my measurements, like look, this line is about 3.5 inches. If you wanted it, okay? This one right here. And then this length is about roughly about 2.5 inches, okay? And now the same thing here. You're going to align it and slide it down till you have something that looks like this measure, okay? Roughly. So you have your 2 sides of the Kaaba. Okay. So now that we've done the basic shape of the Kaaba, we can start. Everyone good so far? We have the basic shape? Yes? Okay, great. So now this is the time where you can take your eraser and you can erase this inside line. So you can see the solid shape of the Kaaba. Okay, so you can erase the A and the B if you like. We don't need those letters anymore. And here is your Kaaba. All right. So now that we've drawn the basic shape of the Kaaba, we're going to decorate it. This, you can decide however you'd like to decorate it, okay? I will decorate it as a suggested way, but if you want to freehand draw it, you can. But if you'd like to follow along with me, you can as well, okay? So I'm going to try to keep the lines of the Kaaba. So for example, here, let me show you what I did. Here, when I drew the decoration, I also lined these lines with the vanishing point. Okay, so it looks like it went with the picture, it went that way, okay? So even the cloth that's draped, it's matching there. This decorative part on the top where the Arabic is written on the original Kaaba, it's matched here. And then the bricks here also, I matched them to here. Okay.
Somebody's asking if we need 4 papers. I think I put 4 papers on the list in case of any mistake, but essentially for this drawing, you only need 1 sheet of paper and your pencil. But in the when we do the mountains, if you have a scrap piece of paper or anything from the recycling bin, you can take out something because we're just going to tear it to create a mountain-like shape. So yeah, we put extra paper just so that, you know, nobody would have to excuse themselves if they felt like they needed extra paper. But if you can find something in the recycling bin or you have an extra piece of paper, just grab a second piece of paper, okay? But for now, you really just need 1.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. So we'll do the decorative part. So I'm gonna make another line. So you see this top line here? I'm just gonna match to this line and then just slide down while still connected to my vanishing point 1, okay? So from the top, just slide my ruler just a little bit till how I decide I'm gonna go down just 1/3 and I'm gonna draw another line, okay? See that? And then I'm gonna follow this line again and I'm gonna slide down a little bit, still matching to V1 and then go like this. And then I will do the same exact thing on this side. So I'm going to take my, but this time I'm trying to match it to this one here. So I'm going to go to V2 and see where this line ends. Okay. And then draw this side. Oops, I think that went off a little bit here. That's okay. And then like this, okay? And then again, V2, and then I'm going to match this edge right here. And like that. Okay, so you should be able to start seeing that your Kaaba is taking its shape. It's forming what we visually think it looks like, right? And there you go, you have that. Now, let's make a brick side. So you go to the bottom of the Kaaba to V1, okay? And then you're gonna go up, and so you're matching to the base here, and then you're going to slide up. Okay, so we're gonna slide up while still matching to this point right here. And then I'm gonna go up a little bit more and then right here. Okay. And then do the same thing here to V2. I'm going to join from V2 to this point here and create that. So if you wanted to create the bricks on the bottom here, like how I created them here, I just created more lines that match to the V's, okay? So I'm gonna take this line again, the base of the starting of the brick side, and match it to vanishing point 1, and I'll create another line, and then I'll go down and create one more line. So I have 3 lines like this. But you see how all the lines are leading you to that vanishing point. Okay, so that's the whole point about a perspective drawing. It leads your eyes to a disappearing point. That's why they call it vanishing. So once you reach here, the object or your eye doesn't go further. Okay, so and then we'll do the same thing on this side. So for V2, take match this side with V2 like this, and then another one, and then V2 like this. All right. And then here you can just, now you're creating your bricks. So with the brick, is everyone okay so far? We've completed this if you're following along. Okay. So people who like measurements and like creating straight lines enjoy the 2-point perspective drawing because it's based on precision. It's based on, you know, but you could do a rough hand also. You don't need a ruler. So if you're following along and you don't have a ruler and you did a freehand, it's completely fine as long as your lines are leading towards a vanishing point. Okay, so now to make a brick wall, so you're just going to make on the first side line here, and then a line here. And I'm just doing this roughly. You can do this with a ruler too. You can hold it with a ruler and just go line like that if you want to be more precise. Okay, so one line, skip another line. Then the other side, you're going to make just one in the middle here. So you see how it's creating that type of shape, okay? And then come back here and then do like this, and then in the middle. So you're creating a pattern where you're skipping. It's going like this shape, okay? And then you keep doing this till you reach the corner. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So just make sure that you're skipping one, and there you go. Okay, so that's the basic structure of the Kaaba that you drew. And now if you wanted to draw the drapes, you know, sometimes when they have the drapes up in the drawing, we can do that here, and that's very easy. This you're going to do freehand. So from here, you'll just roughly, you'll do a bigger one. So it's obviously when you're standing here, here is going to appear bigger. And then as it's going towards this vanishing point, it's going to get smaller. So we'll do the first drape rough, you know, just if you make a mistake like me, it's okay. And then you kind of go like that, okay? And then you try to replicate the same thing on the other side. And don't stress about it if it's not too even, if it doesn't look like mine, you know, as long as you have.
Found helps, Nazneen, if like is to flip the paper upside down, because drawing those and making them easy, the same might be, so I flipped mine upside down to create the same, to kind of copy.
Oh yes, that's a great
shape.
Yep.
It seems to make it.
Yep, you're right. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try that way too. Okay, so we flip it upside down. And then, and there you go. You have your Kaaba all done. And when you're done that, you don't need these vanishing lines anymore. So you erase that. Keep your horizon line for now, I think.
Nazine, I think on your picture, there was also like these squares that were under the gold, you know, the gold line on top. So under there was, you know, those little, it was like little squares. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you could do that too. So what I did with that was, I did the same thing in the original one. Yes, you're right. I had that. I made a little line like this, matching the vanishing point again.
Oh, I think we erased it, so it's okay.
It's okay. Sorry. Yeah. So roughly, so you're just doing it roughly like this, where I just did the same line. And if you don't have a vanishing point, you can just make it parallel to the top one. And then I just did that, I think. And then I just erased the gaps in between. So it had like in the Kaaba, you know how they have that.
Yeah, it's a Quranic.
It's the Quranic ayahs, yeah. So they have that matching there. And then I believe they have, and then they have like little, you can add a little shape like that. Like that. Okay, and you can do the same on the other side as well. And if you don't have the vanishing points, it's no problem. You can do this freehand as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, good thing you reminded me, Wajih. I forgot about this. Okay. All right. So I think that's so if you, again, this is based on the ruler. If you did it by freehand, it's completely fine. It does not need to look like this at all. Everyone's is going to look very different and it's going to be very beautiful because it's your own version of it. Okay, so I just showed you a technique, but the result will be different in how you made it. So, and we're really looking.
Want to share theirs?
Yeah.
Feel free to hold yours up.
Even Sister Wajih, I can see Sister Wajiha followed the same thing, but she has a different variation. So, you know, we're all going to have our own different unique.
Khalid, I can't see you. Naya, Khalid, I can't see it enough. Oh, lovely. Look at
that. That's so nice.
Perfect. Lovely. Inshallah. Labaik, Allahumma labaik. MashaAllah.
MashaAllah, very nice. I see Taha's too, very beautiful.
MashaAllah.
You guys did a phenomenal job. Look at this, MashaAllah, very nice. Yep, Khalid and Inaya, we see yours. MashaAllah, amazing work. So nice. Amira, yep, MashaAllah. Wajiha, these are so beautiful. Like, look at them.
They're
like,
just excellent. They're so, and kids, doesn't it feel great to do a two-dimensional Kaaba? Whereas like usually when we draw it, right, in our pictures, we draw like this and then we put the door, right? Which is also wonderful. I love that.
Yes.
But doesn't it feel good to be able to show it from different perspective? It definitely is, it's a good feeling. You feel attached.
Yes, you made a 2D type of, you know, Kaaba. It's popping out at you, and yeah. it's very nice. You guys did a wonderful job, mashallah. And then when Sister Wajiha leads you to do the arches and the mountains, now you're gonna have a complete picture, mashallah. Like, you know, inshallah.
Okay.
All right.
So I guess we'll move. Should we do that now? Should we move on to the arches?
Yeah, please. We're done with the Kaaba. So unless anybody has any questions, we'll move on to part 2 with Sister Wajiha.
Okay, so I tried to kind of sketch out what the arches would look like because as you all know, when you are inside the Haram Sharif, it is like a circle, right? Because people are doing tawaf around. So the structure is created like a huge circle on 2 floors. And there is the old Ottoman arches, which the Ottomans had built, and they've preserved that even in their modern construction. And that provides shade. And people can, you know, pray, and they also do extra and nafil and sunnah prayers and things like that inside and read Quran and everything. So we're going to do our perspective of that. And this is like an eyeball sketch I did just to figure out like, okay, how are we gonna do it by perspective? So we've eliminated this, but basically imagine there was like a big bowl or a plate on top. You're gonna say it's here, say our point is right here. So right where your curtain meets right here, we're gonna imagine that's like the middle of our arch. Like imagine a little rainbow, I guess. So we're gonna take it from this side, and I'm just gonna do, can you guys see enough? Is my lighting okay? And just for purpose of instruction, I'm just gonna go and put the line all the way through. You see the line? But you might not want to put the line over your Kaaba drawing. However, I did. So it's gonna kind of look like that. Is it clear? Can people see that? Good.
Yes.
Hold, put your thumb up if that makes sense. All right, that makes sense. So yeah, essentially you just have this arch here and this arch here. Now what we're gonna do is from this corner, we're gonna make one arch. And then, you know, last time we practiced arches, and you can kind of also improvise your arch. So you can do an arch like this, or if you wanna do a more pointy arch like that, you can do that too. So it's really up to you. So we're gonna do one arch like that in a second. And you're just gonna go all the way over. And then it doesn't just look like that. You wanna show that it's an arch. So you're gonna make an inside line once you did that under each one. So you're showing this is an arch like this. Right. So this is essentially, I'm just showing like an expressive movement of tawaf. You can imagine people going around like that, right? So they're going all the way around here and they're coming back around here. So once you've made these arches, I see people looking at the screen. Anybody question? No? So from this corner, you're gonna do arch, arch, just like that, and then do an inside line. Now, if we wanna ornament them a little bit, because sometimes they have these little pillars. So I erase the inside line right here. And we can ornament it a little bit with like a little ornamentation between the pillars. So I went in there like that. I erased the line, and then I added these little kind of pegs on the side that make them, you know, just that little bit of detail. And if you even want to go in now or later, you can even go in and, you know, add some ornamentation because they are ornamented in real life. And the Ottomans, they loved the detail. Even though the newer construction, it tends to be a more simplistic design or more. So inside these arch lines, I'm just gonna make additional basically the same pattern, which is like these little little arches inside the arch frame, just for some design and some movement in your picture. But right now we're imagining this under the canopy of the sky. That is the wonderful thing of being at the Kaaba. If you haven't been, may Allah send you there, and may you witness the beautiful sky above the Kaaba and feeling so close to heaven. You know, directly above the Kaaba in heaven, there's a heavenly Kaaba. It's called Bayt al-Ma'mur, and it's a place attached to Jannah. So when you are at the location of the Kaaba, it is a place where prayers are accepted, and all the prophets have visited. Well, Ibrahim alayhi salam had built the Kaaba, and so many prophets had visited. Adam alayhi salam has been to this location. All of our ulama, from our Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Abu Hanifa, all of the great scholars of our deen have been in this place. And then there's the heavenly realm, the angels, they're always also in this location making tawaf. So you might be there and you feel something you never felt before, something really different from another world, you know, Allah's world, another heaven world. So once you made the arches on the left side, then you can go over and basically replicate it on this side. So you make one arch and then you make an inside line that is just like a few millimeters, centimeters under it. So it gives that effect. And then again, I erase these connecting lines a little bit because I want them to look like the two arches are supported by a shared pillar, right? Because that's how they do it. They have one pillar and then two arches come off that one pillar. Inshallah. And I'll make the little pegs. Bismillah. La ilaha illallah. Okay. MashaAllah, Taha Miriam, whoa, look at those pillars. MashaAllah. Labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. Oh, I want to go to Kaaba right now. Inshallah, Allah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept us at the Kaaba. May the angels invoke our names there at the Kaaba right now as we honor that sacred holy place and long to be there with Allah and the angels and all the believers. Ameen.
Ameen, ameen.
Ameen. MashaAllah. Let's see, Hajar. Let's see. Look at them, MashaAllah. Beautiful. Look at those. Look, just like mine. Exactly. Look at the stem. Perfect. Love it. All right, so look at the screen. Those of you who are on the video, look at me when you're done so I know, kind of, can you bring your pet to Hajj with you? It depends. What's your pet? What do you have, a pet bird? A cat? I'm looking at you. Alina says, I'm looking at you. All right. Good. A pet bunny. Oh, wouldn't that be cute seeing a little bunny hop around the Kaaba, making tawaf? I guess you could put your bunny in a little sling, right? You could put the bunny in a little sling and carry it around on your back like a baby. Baby bunny bouncing around the Kaaba. Sounds like a nursery rhyme. Baby bunny bouncing around the Kaaba. Bunnies are so cute. Wow. I don't think I could get any work done at home if I had a baby bunny. I wouldn't do cooking or dishes, just play with my baby bunny.
You have a cat, don't you? Do you have a cat? You have a cat, right?
Two cats, two girls, they're sisters, yeah.
Me too, my cat, she's always just everywhere.
MashaAllah. Well, you all know about Abu Huraira radiallahu anh, why he got his name, the great companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He got his name Abu Huraira because he always had a kitten in his sleeve. Their shirts used to have wide sleeves. That was the style at the time. It's loose, right? Because it's very hot in the Arabian Peninsula, so clothes tend to be very loose. And he had a loose sleeve, and he always had a cat in his arm. He loved kittens and he loved cats. And that's the nature of believers in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We love Allah's creation and Allah's innocent, beautiful, pure creation, especially the fuzzy ones. Fuzzy,
Yeah.
ugly, purring, and bunny hopping creatures. They are very cute, but they are nudges. Yeah, they're not. Are they nudges? Their hair is not nudges, but they can have nudges. Like they could go. Yeah, they do. They don't really potty train, do they? Right? Yeah. So they have nudges, but them in themselves are not nudges. Like a pig in itself, or like a right, or a dog, I guess. You're done? Okay. Okay is done. Okay. All right. Lovely. Look at those beautiful arches. Okay, team. MashaAllah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Now, we're going to move on to now the mountains in the background. Just a little piece of background history. You know, now you'll see the clock tower by the Kaaba. It's that huge clock tower, and it has hotels in it and restaurants and mall. But in the olden days, they had a law, and you weren't allowed to build anything higher than the Kaaba out of respect for the Kaaba, subhanAllah. And that was the honor they had from the Kaaba. Any house that was built in Mecca at that time had to be lower than the Kaaba, out of that we should always look up to the Kaaba and never look down at the Kaaba. So I really love this perspective that you chose, Sister Nazneen, where it's like we're standing here and we're looking up at the Kaaba, as we should, inshallah. So now we're in perspective, we're on the ground and we're looking at the Kaaba, and we have the arches all around us. And there's two ways. One is just a loose way. So for people who don't have an extra piece of paper, no problem. You're just gonna lightly take your pencil and you're just gonna make these kind of, well, organic shapes are called organic shapes because they come from nature and they don't follow a very rigid outline. So what I do is I'm just from one part to the next. You all heard that song by Zayn Bika, Oh Mountains of Mecca, you know, the mountains of Mecca, right? So mountains of Mecca, that is where our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would go and love to make you know, the time to pray to Allah in the mountain as well. And that was the terrain there. So you can do it like this, like I did with the freehand. But if you want to try a new little art skill, or you can take a piece of paper or an envelope from an old piece of mail, actually maybe avoid mail now because of the corona, but maybe some other piece of paper, scrap paper from recycling, and you can just rip it into kind of like an up and down mountains type of shape. Up and down. So on the right here, I did it by hand. And on the left side over here, I'm gonna, once I rip the edge like that, I only put it on here so people can see. See, this is the way I ripped it. Okay, so I ripped it, and now I'm gonna remove that. So I can do it two ways, actually. I could probably go like this with the bottom side and just turn it upside down. But I'm gonna just use this side. And I'm gonna line it up to the mountains that I drew freehand on the right. And I'm basically just gonna kind of like trace into those rigid edges that I did. Like that. Whoops, didn't come up. I didn't get it on the line of my paper enough. So let me go over it again. Okay, oh, again. Make sure you're not drawing on the old line. So that's another way you can do it. And then inside these mountains, you know, mountains have many layers because they go off into the distance. So you can just kind of add a few hills like closer, right? So now we have like a full landscape view kind of going. And the thing about mountains is you don't want to make it like straight lines. You know, when you're younger, you're going to go like this. People go and make mountains like that, right? But mountains don't really look like that. They look more uneven than that. They follow this shape in general, up and down, but they don't look like that. They look like this, jagged. So you have to let your wrist go a little bit. Let's see. I'm having trouble, let me see, enlarging these pictures so I can. This one?
Yeah, and then I think you should.
Oh, you can pick one. Like this?
Try that and see.
Okay, let's see, who can I see? Is anybody holding theirs up? I'm trying to scan.
Pick one, and that is there, it has dots. Try to pick, right click on that.
Here?
Go back to it. Okay, go on. Okay.
Okay, oh, let's see,
See the
Amira.
little
Let me
blue?
see, Amira.
See the little blue one?
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's pinning. Oh, I see that. Lovely. Okay. Lovely, lovely. So people got their mountains in there? All right. See, I think I lost my view here. I want it to be, there we go. But how do I put it, gallery views, right here? Okay. Let's see. Fatima, let me see. I'm trying to see closer. Oh, nice. Great. Perfect. You got the mountains of Mecca. And you know, if you ever want to draw a trail, you know, sometimes there's little walkways. You can even sketch one of those in. So you basically make a little arch up this way like that. And then you make another little arch up this way. And then if you want to go, the trails up a mountain, right? They go this way, then that way, and this way, and that way. That's how you cut the distance on a mountain, because you can't walk straight up. You got to jag a little bit, back and forth a little bit. All right, lovelies. Okay, so who's got their mountains of Mecca? Lovely. Wow. You know, Khashia asked, wait, can you take your pet on Hajj or Umrah? I mean, we have to ask a scholar, I think. We'd have to ask the rules at the Haram Sharif at the Kaaba. What are their rules regarding pets? But my thought is that they probably would not allow pets in general. But it is a nice thought. It's definitely a nice thought. And they have a lot of cats. There are a lot of cats in Mecca. So, but we'd have to ask a scholar, like, what is the ruling? Because just because they have those rules doesn't mean that it's not allowed in Islam. So they might have those rules to protect people, other people who might be allergic to cats or allergic to bunnies, but that doesn't mean that bringing a pet would necessarily be. But you know, they do want to keep the place clean. So animals, they don't know how to use the bathroom. So I think there's probably a good reason why they don't let pets in the area. But I understand a strong attachment and wanting to have your spiritual experience with your pets because that close attachment. So Bismillah. All right, so now that we have our mountains, now we're going to draw some clouds. So when you were younger, they probably taught you like this, like one bubble, and then you go like kind of like that. But that still looks like too bubbly, right? It looks too cartoony, and we're trying to do a more realistic. So you kind of want your shape to be a little bit more flowy. Try not to, each cloud is a little bit, some are smaller and some are bigger. Right, have you ever played that game when you lay on the back on the lawn and you you look at and you try and find pictures of different things in the clouds and you say, oh, that looks like this or that looks like that. That's fun. So I added a few clouds. You don't want to overdo it, but a few clouds, it gives that more realistic and fills the sky with the beauty. Lovely. Isa, let me see, Isa. Nice. Oops. Hold it closer. Lovely. Hey, okay. Raneem and Hanifa, Batul. Wow, lovely, everyone. MashaAllah. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to draw these symbolic or abstract little birds. And I'm going to do it in a large size over here, and then you can do it in a smaller size because it also adds a little movement to the sky and represents that there truly are a lot of birds that do fly around the Kaaba. They are drawn to it because it's very beautiful. So just to draw a bird, you just draw like that. And then you do one arm like this and one arm like that. And if you wanted, you could do them in like a, you know how they fly in like a triangular form, kind of. But if you just, I tend to just, you know, put a few, like, and so then you have to scale them. So you want them, if the cloud is this big, right, a bird is going to be so much smaller than a cloud. So you just want to add that. So it just creates a little bit more movement in your picture and feels happy. Always love birds. So Bismillah, there we are. And then all that's left is coloring in. Kids, do you guys want to hang out and draw and color in together? Or if you want to, we can still keep the line on and we can color in our Kaaba together. So I can bring Kiwi. I saw the cats in Mecca and Medina. Is Kiwi the name of your cat? Okay, all right, Hanifa wants to stay in color. Yeah, it's really nice to be together and to color. So just so we get our colors right, I'm gonna keep this line on, but soon I will pardon myself to pray Maghrib, but I'm gonna keep the line on while Nazneen can continue coloring. You're there, right, Nazneen? Is it prayer time for you? I think she's on mute. No, she's writing in there. Oh, you got muted. Oh, I muted you. Sorry. Oh, it put me on driving mode. I'm not sure how to get off of driving mode here. Okay, now my microphone is unmuted and I have to find out how to unmute you, Nazneen. Huh, maybe I can do it from here. Give me a second, Nazneen, I'm here with you. Can you kids hear me? Right, okay, so I went to participants and I'm gonna scroll down now and find Nazneen. Oh, here she is, okay, here she is. Oh, can I not unmute you from here? Okay, he can hear me, but I can't seem to, I must have pressed the wrong button. How do I unmute her? It's not letting me see that.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to do it from now on.
Yeah, because
So just, can you go to?
Oh, here she is. Let's see. Sorry, I'm with you guys. Just start coloring. Nazneen, just look at her, Sister Nazneen's video, and she'll make sure you put the right colors in the right sections. Because in the Kaaba, you have a black cloak, and you have a golden trim, and you also have then like a maroon brick color. And I'm working on the technology here. Okay, I've requested you to unmute, so you should be able to now.
Hey, assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me now?
I can. Can everybody else hear both of us?
Can the kids hear? Yeah?
Thank you. Cool. Yay. Okay, everyone said yay, yay. Okay, cool.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. All right.
So
Okay.
let me.
You kids are so cute.
So Nazneen, my prayer of time for Maghrib entered. So if you want to lead the crew in color matching the sections, and then I will come back and join you, inshallah.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, so now that we're done the final drawing, and that was led by Sister Wajiha, we're going to color this Kaaba. So in the Kaaba, you know, there's different sections here. So what we'll do is, like she said, if you have gold, you can use gold. If you don't, try to find a yellow for the gold. So I'm just going to show the sections. So this part will be yellow or gold, okay? This part's going to be black because that's the top of the Kaaba, okay? And then these little decorated pieces, if you had done them, this would be gold as well, okay? And then these drapes here are white. This is going to be black. And the brick part, you can have the nice maroon or brownish color if you have, okay? Let me try to see if I have a brown color. Yeah, I have a little brown here, okay? So, shall we start with each part first? So let's color the top so that way you can see. We'll color section by section, all right? So let me just put this so it gets smooth. So we'll do this top part right here. I'm gonna outline it so you can see which area I'm talking about. Here. And you can use markers or pencil crayons, whatever you have available. Okay, can you guys see that? Okay, so we're gonna color this part right here. So go ahead and color this area. The top of your beautiful Kaabas. Okay, so that part is done. Everyone good so far? Okay, so you've colored the top part. Now we'll do, since I already have the black pencil color, I'm going to continue to the other part. So here, outline the bottom of your drapes if you have them. Okay. And then here as well. Okay, so you're outlining the bottom here. And my page is just turning all around just because I'm left-handed. Is anybody else a left-handed person here? Any of you kids, are you left-handed? Or am I the only one? Usually I'm the only one. Oh, yeah, we have some left-handies here. Good. So yeah, so for me, because I'm left-handed, I often turn things and do them upside down or, flip it around. So I'm not sure if you lefties do that as well. So, and now we're going to color this bottom part right here. And the reason you see like my coloring is a little bit textured is because this material is textured. So that texture is picking up here. Yours might not have the texture. Okay, so I'm coloring for the sake, I'm just doing it quickly for the sake of time, but here you go. But I kind of like the texture, how it's showing up. Can you guys see? I don't know if you can see the little bumpy texture. That's from the background. Okay, so I'm gonna color this. Okay, and then with the coloring, everybody says, oh, you have to have a certain technique, and you do. I mean, try to color in one direction, but you can be expressive like me. I'm going in all sorts of directions. It doesn't really matter. However you want to color, whatever makes you feel happy coloring it. So don't stress about, oh, mine doesn't look this way or that way. It doesn't really matter at all. It's how you do it, and it's beautiful to you. Okay, so here we have the black part is done. Well, actually, we have one more little part of the black, which is this narrow space right here, okay? So we're gonna do this part right here. Just above the part where the gold calligraphy would be. And for those of you who've gone to the Kaaba and you were able to look at it closely, I don't know if you've noticed, or maybe you've seen pictures or you've seen a documentary, this part and this part, the part that's done in gold, have you ever seen, they have very blessed people who actually make that part with gold thread. It's made by hand, not by a machine, by gold thread with their hand. They stitch that entire calligraphy. It's amazing. I wish if I could find a video or a picture, I will send that in this group and then you can watch. All right, so get close. So we're done all the black. We're going to do the gold now, okay? So this top part here is gold. This is where the sorry, my phone is shaking. Have any of you ever visited Australia or been to Australia or heard of Australia or know what Australia is known for? All right, good. And then this part of the gold. Yes, you're right. Australia last year, we had a lot of wildfires, unfortunately. And because of that, the koalas have joined the endangered list because a lot of their habitat was lost. And also, we know we have kangaroos, right? And there's another animal very specific to Australia. It's called the platypus. I don't know if you've ever seen them. Kind of looks like a duck and a beaver. And yes, there's a lot of spiders. and all sorts of other bugs that I never saw when I was in Toronto, in Canada. Okay, so are we good with here? So this part usually remains, white. But if you wanted to add it like the drapey look, you can add some lines like that, which makes it look like it's the drapes. Just as Sister Wajiha said, gives it some texture and depth to it. And then the last part, we'll do the bricks, and you can do that with I'm going to try to outline each brick like this so that it looks a little bit more 3D and not so flat, and make it lighter in the middle like that. And you don't have to be, make it so perfect and precise. Have the element of freehand in this. So when I went to the Kaaba, you know how some of you were asking about pets. My son, he had a favorite stuffed animal that he really, really likes, and he was only a year old, and he really wanted to, like, he couldn't part with it. It was so special to him, and he was I had to take it with me when we went for Umrah. And when we got there, sometimes the security over there, they check your bags, they make sure, just so that everybody's safe, to what stuff you bring inside the haram when you enter. So when we went there, I forgot that I had put the stuffy in the backpack. It was a stuffed giraffe. Okay, my son liked the stuffed giraffe. So when they saw it, I remember the lady, she picked it up, she looked at it, and she was like, what is this? And then I started laughing because I forgot that I put the stuffed animal in my backpack. And she's like, oh, you can't take this. And then my son was there, and then he's only a year, so he didn't really understand, but he saw the stuffed animal and he started crying a little bit. And then I said, oh, please, this is for my son. It means a lot to him. He'll be very sad if he can't take it inside. And I said, it's just a stuffed animal. And then she looked at me and she looked at my son, and then she saw that my son was upset. So she said, okay, fine, yalla, you can take it. And she's like, but just keep it inside the bag. So they did let us take the stuffed animal inside, but I was told to keep it inside the bag. All right, so here are the bricks on the bottom. Sister Wajih, are you back? You're back, yeah.
Hey, salam alaikum, I'm back.
Walaikum salam. Sorry, so we're just doing the bricks on the bottom, and then as usual, I'm just blabbing away with randoms. So
yeah, you brought a stuffed animal. I bet you could get, I doubt you could get a real giraffe in there.
Yeah, I don't think so. Even though I'm sure the animals would love to be in that sacred space.
Mm-hmm.
Even our cat at home, I'm pretty sure your cat do this too. Whenever you're praying salah, they just, whatever they're doing, they just stop, and then she just comes and then just sits beside us.
Oh, wow,
during
my cat
that time.
doesn't do that. You have a religious cat.
I don't know. Mine does that, especially for my husband. Like, she just follows him. Like, when he's reading Quran and stuff, she just comes and sits beside him.
Oh,
And then
wow.
it reminds me of, the song, like, because you were saying songs, I was thinking about Dawood Warnsby, and then he did the songs that even animals love to read Quran, like,
That's a great song. He's a great songwriter. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, mashallah. He's Canadian too,
Yep.
But I think he lives in the States, so yeah. And there we go. And then you can add anything else if you'd like. But this is what I did, some part here. Maybe I'll show you the painting that I did, which was the final one. Should I show that painting? Would you have
That's
that?
a great idea. Yep, I think you should.
Let me pull it out. today's lesson was inspired by this Hajj painting that was done a while ago. I don't know if you guys can see. So, you know, if your kids ever wanted to try, like today we tried pencil colors. You can do it with markers. Here, it was done with paint. And I don't know if you can see, I did the dotting here and then the gold. So there's actual gold leaf that you can apply. So if your kids ever wanted to experiment with different techniques, you can do that as well. You can use ink, you can use gold, pencil crayons, markers, literally anything you want.
It's so pretty, mashallah. I love the dotting and it's so beautiful, mashallah.
It was supposed to be on its way to Toronto, but the post office said they can't guarantee its arrival.
Uh-oh.
because of unfortunately because of COVID and all that other lovely stuff. But and then if you have a black marker, you can a little pen, you can outline your shape so it pops up more. I just happen to have one here.
So I think with the mountains, I think we'll close it out. I want to make an announcement about the next lesson because I have the printout here. And then I think we should just, you know, these arches here have like a gray or clayish color, I believe. So anything like a peach or a gray color would be good. And then you can also go in with detail. And then the mountains, basically with perspective, Nazneen, it's right that whenever you have something that's further away, the color becomes paler. Because if you think about looking off into the distance, the color becomes lighter generally. So, and the colors that are closer to you, they look stronger. So I think if you have the mountains back here and you lightly, it does help them give that effect of kind of off into the distance. So you're not putting the same amount of color opacity. Opacity refers to like how transparent it is. So transparent as opposed to opacity. Opaque means something you cannot see through. So the lighter your background, and if you really want to get, if you have something like rough, like let's see, I have this napkin. If you want to create like some impression, there's this napkin, you know how it has a little texture in it? You can put it underneath your mountains and kind of do a little rub. And it should make some little bumpy impressions, which might give you a nice kind of natural mountainy look. Anything you might find that has or if you just take a different piece of paper and I crunch it, and I'm gonna unfold it, and then I'll put that paper under this, and then I'll lightly rub over it. It's gonna give me, look, you see how it makes, I don't know if you can see that. It gives these different impressions of depth. We should do a lesson sometime with chalk pastels. I mean, I don't know if I love them. They're just so beautiful. So then it's so funny, oftentimes when we draw the clouds blue, right? And you see it in cartoons, the clouds are blue, but it's really the sky is blue and the clouds are white. So, you know, yeah, so, yeah. So I think I might, also just give a light impression of a color in the sky. So just to get ahead, I'm not going to finish this right now, kids, but we definitely ask your moms to, inshallah, post your final piece in the group if you feel like sharing. We'd love to see. We can't see it totally perfectly here in the small screen, but I would love to see your final product. But before we go, Nizni, do you want to share anything else? I don't want to like push us out. Okay.
No, absolutely,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
go ahead.
So the next lesson we're going to do what is our own version of the Hilya Sharif. So the Hilya Sharif is a traditional piece of artwork that the Ottomans, you know, from the Ottoman Empire, Turkey, that area, they had assembled by their amazing calligraphers. The Ottoman Empire, during their reign, they had the most the widest reach of development of calligraphy. One of the most notables was, his name was Ibn Muqla. And his name was Ibn Muqla, which means the son of an eyeball. And they called him the son of an eyeball because his eyes were so accurate that he could see any disproportion in calligraphy. So that is during the Ottoman Empire, many of the calligraphic styles developed. And so this hilya, it combines florals, arabesque patterns, and it also combines calligraphy. So this hilya combines all three of the main types of Islamic art forms. And this is just a rough draft that Sister Nazneen and I were kind of talking about, okay, how are we going to present the layout? And I will show you in the next lesson. And if I can, kids, you tell me if this interests you. I would love to have a special guest speaker come and talk to you all about the original hilya and about the shama'il of the Prophet ﷺ, because the hilya refers to the beauty of the Prophet ﷺ. It describes the physical description of the Prophet ﷺ, and it has a very specific hadith. I put a shorter hadith that also describes his beauty, ﷺ. But inshallah, maybe I would love to find a special guest to maybe come and talk to you about the original hilya, so you'll really feel very inspired when we do our own art. And so, inshallah, I will be able to provide for your parents this printout, which is going to be the rough draft. They'll print it out, and then Nazneen is going to take us through how to draw this really traditional. It's like a geometric. It's called tezhib, right, Nazneen?
Yeah, it's tahzib. It's a zangelic. It's like a rope design that you see sometimes when you open the Quran and you see the border. So this is one of the traditional ways of creating the inner border. So you're going to learn that technique, inshallah.
Perfect. So she's going to do the border, and we're going to do florals here, and then around the edges, I think we'll either do some sort of petals or some other. We're still deciding what the design will be, but essentially this is the template we're going to work with, and we're going to inshallah just have this beautiful piece of art, and you can hang it on your wall, and it will always remind you of the physical description of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet's physical description, it's not like talking about anybody else's physical appearance, because his physical description, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah made him in the most perfect way. So he didn't look like other people. He didn't smell like other people. He smelled like heaven, actually. He smelled like fragrance, like a beautiful perfume, greater than perfume. So he was unique and different than his appearance was a special appearance. And to look at his face was like to look on the Quran, because his face was like the walking Quran. And if he looked at you, then that made you of the Sahaba. If you lived during his time and he even looked at you, that made you a Sahaba, because his eyes, his blessed eyes, looked upon you, and his eyes were the purest eyes. His eyes are the eyes that gazed upon the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His eyes are the eyes that looked at Angel Jibreel alayhi salam. His mouth is the mouth that emitted the Holy Quran in the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the Angel Jibreel. So his physical description is not like anybody else. And that is why it has a very special status, and why they would ornament it and make it look so beautiful and hang it on their walls. I have one myself upstairs, and I love it. Mine is like a lavender color, and it's so beautiful. I really like pastel, and so that really makes me happy. So inshallah, I hope that we'll set the time up. It'll probably be in 2 Saturdays, right? Nazneen, we'll like nail it down, the time.
Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. But roughly we'll post the time, and this will be the place. This will be the link. And inshallah, we are so lucky to have amazing Muslim artists like you, lovely kids. And your art is truly sacred, and it is so pure. And inshallah, we're so blessed to share this time with you. So please help us to see your beautiful creations. And inshallah, Nazneen, do you want to add anything, inshallah?
No, Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for all the parents who brought their kids here. And like you said, Sister Wajiha, you kids are so special and you're doing this sacred art, and inshallah, Allah give you barakah. And we can't wait to see your final product. I just love seeing the pictures that you guys post afterwards, because there's each and every one's is so, so beautiful.
I mean, inshallah, me too. I am so looking forward to seeing that. So, Jazakallah khair, Sister Nazneen. Thank you for this amazing instruction, this 2-point. We've learned skills today that we can apply throughout our artistic journey, throughout our lives. So thank you so, so much. I just adore you. You know that. I just love everything about what you do and the way that you do it. May Allah bless you and elevate you evermore and just protect you in his kindness and mercy and love. And all of you children the same. May Allah protect you and help you and guide you and support you and surround you with light and angels and knowledge and support and guidance, everything you need in this life. And Ameen. So Jazakallah khair. I'm going to end the meeting and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, wow, Batul. Wow, look at that beautiful design. Yes, I like that you use colors. Yes, in the old times, it was not always all black. That is correct. It did have other colors. And look at that, mashallah. Wow, that is so beautiful. Wow, mashallah.
Amazing.
Artwork, really amazing. So well done, all of you. Amazing. Love it. Okay, kids, have a wonderful evening, day, morning. Ameen, inshallah. May Allah bless you. And salam alaikum.